Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. So there was a game a couple of years back that I've absolutely really enjoyed. It was a game that was highly anticipated by a lot of the Harry Potter fans out there, and of course that would be Hogwarts Legacy. Now, because of the creator of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, and some of her opinions that she's voiced on social media, this game immediately was met with a bunch of backlash. They were trying to boycott this game. They were trying to put all this kind of nasty stuff out there, saying that this game was going to be bad and horrible and yada, yada, yada. Well, it turned out it ended up being the #1 selling game of the year. And ladies and gentlemen, this just once again proves to you that people out there screaming on the internet, their opinions don't actually matter. They don't equal out to actual sales. And at the end of the day, they do not pay your bills. And no matter how much they try to scream, no matter how much they try to holler about things out there on the internet, they have lost a lot of their power. People aren't just kowtowing to them. People aren't just bowing down to them to go along with all of their demands, because guess what? At the end of the day, everybody's finding out very quickly that they don't pay the bills. And boys and girls, that's exactly what we've got right here, because Black Myth Wukong is now already streams most played single game of all time. And it's so funny, it's so ironic, and it's so kind of joyous in its own very sense out there to utilize IGN's our own article for this, because it wasn't all that long ago, ladies and gentlemen, where they were quite literally going out there and ragging on this game, trying to make fun of it, trying to roast them, trying to say all kinds of bad things about this, how Black Myth Wukong developers' history of sexism is complicating its journey to the West. Well, I think all of that complication's gone, boys and girls, because as you can see right here from IGN's own website, Black Myth Wukong has massive launch, overtakes Cyberpunk 2077 to become the most played single player game ever on Steam. Yes, as should be this is another lesson that everyone out there who is black-pilled about any kind of stuff going on with the culture out there, to show you that yes, boys and girls, there is hope in the world, and no matter how much a lot of these woke weirdos out there try to bash and trash and try to get people to convert to their way of thinking, it is going to fail time and time again. By the way, how did Go Woke, Go Broke work out for that wonderful Saints Row reboot? Oh, that's right, that studio no longer exists. Well, just another example of that we're going to document today, boys and girls. Well, we're going to get into this article from IGN.com, and of course pull up some of the absolute debunking of the myths that IGN tried to lie about this game and push forward with a bunch of nonsense, and of course how well the game is currently going wrong right now. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, because boys and girls, we are grinding, we are growing, and we are trying to push back against this algorithm not liking us so much, and I could really use all of your guys' help out with that by hitting that little subscribe button and that little like button, and also leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know if this is good and happy news for you out there, and also it also helps out with the algorithm, so thanks for all of that. So from IGN.com, it is now updated to overtake Power World to become the second most played game on Steam ever. Could it overtake PUBG next? Yes, boys and girls, it is not only the #1 single most ever played game on Steam, but it is now could potentially end up being the most ever played game ever. Now, whether or not it'll actually ever beat PUBG because of its crazy numbers and everything else, I don't know, but the fact that it is even coming close to that, and then taking over a sensation like Power World, which is a huge hit with the fans, that is saying something. So they've had to update this article twice since they initially wrote it, boys and girls. So update #1, Black Myth Wukong stream success continues to grow. It's now overtaken Counter-Strike to become the 3rd most played game of all time on Valve's platform. At the time of this update, Black Myth Wukong had an eye-watering 1.9 million concurrent players. Power World, with its 2.1 million peak concurrent players, is surely within Black Myth Wukong's sights. And yes, as update 2 and the headline confirms, Black Myth Wukong has now overtaken Power World to become the 2nd most played game ever on Steam. At the time of this update, it had 2.2 million concurrent players on Valve's platform, enough to beat Power World's peak of 2.1. The question now is, can Black Myth Wukong hit the top spot, dethroning PUBG, which its enormous peak of 3.2 million concurrent players to become the most ever played Steam game of all time? Now, I mean, considering all of the information going on out there, I'd imagine with a lot of people talking about this game, a lot of people pushing back against a lot of this nonsense and showing how successful this game has been, while not kowtowing, while not bowing the knee to the cult of the modern age, I'm imagining these numbers are going to go up. Can they hit the 3.2 million? Can we honestly see another million or so players actually actively currently playing this game after it's officially launched? I don't know. That seems like a very tough hill to climb, but the fact that it's even a question as to whether or not it will dethrone PUBG on Steam, that is absolutely insane. And of course, this is after IGN decided to try to trash this game and try to trash all of the developers out there and wrote their own article. While boy is an IGN eating crow now. Black Myth Wukong has enjoyed an enormous launch on Steam, where it's been overtaken by Cyberpunk 2077 and become the most played single-player game ever on Valve's platform. The action RPG, developed by Chinese studios Game Science, launched in the earlier hours of this morning and quickly shot up to Steam's most played games list with an incredible 1.4 million peak concurrent players. That figure has already grown. Less than 24 hours, Wukong has already seen its fourth concurrent figures on Steam, only behind PUBG and Power World and Valve's own Counter-Strike. It has now beaten all of those but PUBG. This is ahead of big hitters like Dota, Elden Ring, and Baldur's Gate 3. Already, the game has nearly 30,000 reviews on Steam with a very positive user review rating. And even IGN had to give it a good rating as well after trying to bash the game and its creators, only to have all of their information debunked by an actual Chinese-speaking person out there in China. And even they said they gave it an 8 out of 10. Despite some frustrating technical issues, Black Myth Wukong is a great action game with fantastic combat, exciting bosses, and tantalizing secrets, and a beautiful world. That is absolutely hilarious. And of course, they go on to promote all of the rest of their articles where they're praising the game and talking about all the things that can be helpful, while burying at the very, very bottom of their article all of their own trashing of this game. This week, IGN verified an email sent by the Black Myth Wukong marketing team that told content creators were granted a stream key that they must not include feminist propaganda or use what they called trigger words such as COVID in their coverage. Literally, they flat out said, if you review our game, you are not allowed to use feminist propaganda, i.e. the cult talking points, as what IGN was trying to push, trying to trash and bash this game and try to convince all of you out there to not play it because of Ickism. Well, guess what? You ignored them just like the majority of people out there and have made this game the #1 most ever played single player game on concurrent players, and it is now the #2 ever overall, and who knows, might even beat PUBG. Game Science has yet to respond to IGN's previous report compiling numerous sexist comments made by the studio's founders and other developers spanning the last decade. And you know what that tells us, boys and girls? IGN, you have no power here. Yes, boys and girls, they have failed miserably because after trying to bash this game and its creators and its developers, a Chinese gamer refuted IGN's sexism accusations against Black Myth Wukong, developer Game Science, but condemns developer statements as unprofessional. Yes, they used some slang. They were a small company with a bunch of edgy gamers at the time, and they used some slang and they made some inappropriate jokes and occasionally used some very sexy, some would even say lewd things and stuff. But guess what? At the end of the day, that doesn't matter to the majority of gamers out there. What matters is exactly what IGN said. You gave us a great action game with fantastic content, exciting bosses, tantalizing secrets, and a beautiful world. It does not matter that people out there on the internet want to bash these people's creators. The woke mob out there does not sell video games. They never have, they never will. And any of you companies out there that decided to listen to this based on the fact that you was going to bring them in more sales, you were sold a bill of goods, and Black Myth Wukong, as well as Hogwarts Legacy and so many other games out there, have proven this time and time again true. Go woke, go broke is an old school adage at this point that has time and time again been proven true. This is what happens when you concentrate on good storytelling, great gameplay, and not kowtowing to the cult out there. This is how you make success. By the way, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. How's that game doing, by the way? Because Black Myth Wukong has absolutely outstripped that as well and is going to continue going on doing that exact same time and time again, because I, for one, didn't even know a lot about this game. I didn't even know a lot about the controversy, but now I am desperate to go out there and play this game just to add to the numbers, just to make more of the wokey weirdos out there cry and whine and moan, especially the ones over there at IGN who decided to try to bash this game and its creators for a bunch of crude jokes that they felt was just affecting their sensibilities. Well, guess what? The people in the Western culture out there don't give a crap about your sensibilities or any of the rest of your talking points. All they care about is good storytelling, good gameplay, and a lot of fun action. And Black Myth Wukong has given them that and has now become the #1 most played single-player game of all two, as the #2 spot overall over there on Steam. And it is success that is very well-deserved, because guess what? At the end of the day, when you make the fans, when you make the gamers, and when you make the audience happy and you don't kowtow to the cult, you end up being rich. And that's exactly what Black Myth has done, and very successful to all of them out there. I cannot wait to see how well this game ends up ending out, and of course all of the weirdos out there crying about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Common Nerd. This has been a lot of fun, and thanks for watching, and let me know if you played Black Myth Wukong and what you thought of it in the comment section down below.